Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to talk about my top road racing tips. As a complete newbie, I've had people message say they're interested in doing their first road race, so I thought why not pass on some of the things that I've learned in my first few road races as a complete beginner, and hopefully it can help someone else or give someone the motivation to give a road race a crack. But first, I just want to thank everyone that has subscribed and does watch my videos, because I've hit the 1,000 subscribers now, and I'm guessing it can only be because of Dad and the Rocket. Yeah. But I'm going to take all of the credit for it, and I'm not sure why I'm making a video on road racing while riding off-road. This is bloody hard. So can't even go no-handed. Bloody mountain biking. I could do this on the road. So tip number one is be prepared, be warmed up, and when you're in the neutralised section, try and be top half of the peloton, because when that neutralised car goes and the race starts, it is full gas. Every man and his dog thinks they're Mathieu van der Poel, and they are whacking it off the front like absolute lunatics. And I'm not gonna lie, the pace is high, but just know that after 30 minutes it will settle down. When all the willy wagging's done, the pace will settle. So be prepared that although it might be over 2 hours the race, it's going to be full ping at the start, and you need to make sure you're in a good position so you're not getting dropped out the back in like the first 30 minutes, because you want to see how far you can get. I've pulled over for tip two. I've just come from down the bottom of the hill there and I was absolutely hanging out. So tip number two, descending and cornering. This really surprised me, but you have to be really comfortable descending and cornering at high speeds. The descents, I'm not gonna lie, they are full gas, and it's not like what you see on the TV when they're on the Tour de France. They've got a perfectly smooth road. In the UK, you've got potholes. You're getting the bones rattled out of you on some dodgy surface, but you've got to be comfortable descending at full speed. And then cornering as well. Every corner, you've got to feel comfortable being in a group on the corners and taking the corners fast, because on the corners it will get strung out, and as soon as they come out the corner, it is whack and everyone pings it to get back up to speed. So if you're a long way back, that could throw you straight out of the back. So try and be up near the front for the corners, nice and fast, and jump straight back on the wheel in front of you and up to speed. We're back off and moving. Tip number three, the course recce. On my first ever road race, I've done a course recce. In the stage race, I didn't recce the courses, and it threw me out a bit, not knowing where I was going on the first couple of laps. And I'd really recommend just getting it in for peace of mind. And also my two races at Dunsfold and Lingfield, the finish was in a different place to the laps you do, so you turned off the course and onto a different road. So it's good to know where that is, because the climb before the finishing climb, I set the KOM on, I think, at the Lingfield one, stage 3. All right, big man.
Ooh, you're hard.
But I blew my biscuit because I didn't know where the finish was. So if you've got time, definitely do a course recce, just for peace of mind and knowing where everything is, the climbs, the corners, any rough surfaces on the road. Tip number four is a double whammy. So firstly, just one more minute. We've probably all heard that before, gents. But honestly, when the attacks are going and it's hurting, just something that I always remind myself is that in one more minute of this pain, it is going to ease, because the relentless attacks can't keep coming. So one more minute. And the other part of this one is, don't be afraid to flick the elbow. I love doing it. If you're trying to shut down a gap and you know you can't do it and you're going to completely blow your biscuit, you are better off just flicking the elbow, letting the guy behind you come round, and put some work in as well. It's not like oh, I've got to be manly and pin it on the front and close the gap down. It's sometimes you've got to play the percentage game, and you're better off flicking the elbow. I mean, as long as you're not the last man, flick the elbow, turn around, no one's there, you're gonna be in a shit state. But just don't be ashamed to have to flick the elbow if you're hanging out, if it's going to save your race. Tip number 5, and it is climbing and what was explained to me as the sag. So I completely understand that not everyone enjoys climbing or is particularly good at climbing. So this is where positioning coming into the climb is seriously important. If you're not a great climber, you want to be near the front of the pack when you're coming into the bottom of the climb, because then it gives you that chance to sag back. It is gonna get strung out on the climbs. There's gonna be people that are great climbers, people that are not so great. So if you've given yourself that bit of breathing room to sag back, ideal. If you find yourself at the back on the climb or before the climb, you know gaps are gonna open up, and you don't want to be the person having to close it over the top after a hard effort. Normal service resumed, back on the road for tip number 6. And this one isn't from me. I was out with the Mosser boys the other day, and Jamie, the GS Mosser road race captain, was out, who has a lot more experience than me road racing and is also a Cat 2 racer. So I thought I'd ask him the question, and this is arguably my favourite tip. So out with the Mosser boys, the pace has eased a little bit, and rather than taking my word for my beginner tips, I'm going to ask the main man at Mosser, that are you road race team captain, and Jamie's got a fair bit more experience than me on the road, Cat 2 racer and an absolute beast. And what is your top tip for road racing?
If you're just starting out, I'd just get stuck in. Doesn't matter, as long as your bike is safe. Even if you've never done one before, just get stuck in. Say hello to people, be friendly, particularly if you see a red Mosser kit, come say hello. Yeah, really, number 1 tip would be get stuck in.
I like that. Like, a lot of people have said to me, like, they want to do a road race, bit scared. I can't recommend it enough. Like, honestly, no one cares if you come first or last. It's about getting out there and just giving it the beans, and the only way you'll find out is definitely by just giving it a crack. And lastly, tip number 7, this one isn't mine either, it's one my dad always preaches to me and my brother. I was gonna ask him to be on video for this one, but the fame of all the comments of how good his commentary is going to his head, so I'm gonna cover it instead. Always cover your brakes and stay alert. This is just for pure safety reasons. You get complacent sometimes and comfortable, but trust me, you don't know what's going to happen, whether someone's going to whack on their brakes or something. So it is always 100% worth making sure your brakes are covered, ready for anything, and you're always alert, making sure someone's not going to chop you. Because at the end of the day, it's a hobby, it's meant to be fun, and we want to come out of it in one piece. So always cover your brakes. And that is 6 tips from me, and an absolute banger from Jamie. But this is a little bit different to my usual content of me either racing my bike or eating cake, but hopefully this can either help someone that's doing their first race, about to do their first race, or thinking about doing their first race, and maybe this gives them the nudge to sign up. And please do let me know if this has been useful, because if not, I'm more than happy to just go back to eating cake. But even with my very little experience, it's crazy the amount I'm learning at the moment, and this has only scratched the surface. There is so much I could go into, fueling and everything like that, but I don't want to I just want to fly. Oh, vlogging 101. But I thought I'd keep it short and sweet for the first one. And that is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.